right? It's a mandatory plan.
Yeah.
If you're a private employer, as long as you have above 3 employees in your enterprise, you ought to subscribe to
the pension plan.
system. Yeah.
You are now listening to
Ombudsman Radio.
Hello everyone and welcome to another thrilling episode of the Service Hour. My name is Mati Fati and as always with me is the beautiful Jem. Hello.
Hi.
How do you feel to be here?
I feel good.
Yeah,
Excited.
As always. So today we have a very interesting topic that we want to, shed light on. So if you're a corporate worker, all the corporate baddies and gentlemen, come forward. And you might be wondering, okay, I'm not a corporate body, blah blah blah. Stay as well, because today we are going to be dealing with pension. Somebody might be saying at the other corner, I'm not a government worker. Yes, the pension plan is applicable to both government, private, and even self-employed individuals, so it is relevant. And this segment, this episode is going to be really educative and you don't want to miss it. So Jem will be taking us on a quick backstory of the pension, how it came to be, and the various reforms they've, implemented, the difficulties they encountered, and let's just listen.
All right. So basically, pension scheme started, the first official Nigerian pension scheme started in 1951.
Okay.
Yes, during the colonial era, and it was introduced under the Ordinance Pension of 1951, modeled after the British system, right?
Okay.
It was a defined benefit scheme. And what that means is that upon your retirement, the government just pays you a specific amount of money.
And that's all?
That's all.
Okay. It's just like the gratuity we call today.
Yes. So, but the challenge that had was that this was solely funded by the government.
Okay.
Yeah, so the burden was on the government to find money and then pay. They were generating funds to pay.
And it's going
pensioners.
To be a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So this resulted to mismanagement of funds and then corruption.
Siphoning.
Exactly, because there were gaps. Yeah. And then the pensioners were suffering because there were piles of pensions to be paid that were not, they were not being paid systematically.
Yeah.
So protests here and there and series of issues. Okay. And then that required or necessitated a reform. And then we had the first reform in 2004.
Okay.
Yes, that's the Pension Reforms Act of 2004. So this time around, they changed and switched up things a bit. So what we have now is a contributory pension scheme. Yeah, so what it means is that, these pensioners are actually working. So why not they contribute a certain amount from their salary?
So it wouldn't be like it's just the other person that just, you have to be intentional about it as well.
For yourself, because at the end of the day, you're eating, it's for you, it's for your future. So the contributory plan means that the federal government or your employer, the employer will contribute a certain amount of money. For the 2004 Reform Act, it was 7.5% of your basic salary, your housing allowance and transport allowance. So 7.5%. And then the employee will contribute equally 7.5%, making a total of 15%. So this will go to your retirement savings account, RSA. And then in 2004, the Act also established the National Pension Commission, that's PENCOM, which is popularly called PENCOM.
Yeah.
Yes, and they basically regulate these activities of the pension fund administrator. So we had like the pension fund administrator, the PFAs. Right, so they are like how do I say it plainly, like banking system.
Okay, just so like marketers.
Yeah, so you have like an account with them, just like we have an account in the banking sector. So you have your retirement savings account with them.
Okay.
So and every month this contribution, both parties, goes into the account, and then your PFA, that's the pension fund administrator, manages it.
Okay.
They invest it, and then they just help you to keep the money until you retire.
Yeah.
So the 2004 Pension Reform Act was a bit better than what we had previously. So it's now more intentional. Then there was more funds in the pension scheme, and then there was a reduced backlog of payment of retirement plans and stuff like that.
Okay.
But then there were still lapses, like the private sectors were not fully incorporated, the informal sectors as well. So in 2014 came another reform.
Okay.
Yeah, so this time around we saw an increment into what was to be contributed. So now basically your employer contributes 10%, and then the employee contributes 8% of your basic salary, your transport and housing allowance allowance monthly. So making a total of 18% to be deposited into your retirement savings account every month. And this forms your pension, what will be given to you as pension
at the end of the day.
Yes. And then also we saw that there was a stricter penalty for people who were not
complying.
Exactly. And then the informal sectors were incorporated too. Like you're a self-employed person, or but you have thought for your future. You want to say, okay, at the end of the day,
you want to have something.
Exactly. So you voluntarily contribute. You just go to Pencom and then have they give you a plan, and then you subscribe to it, and basically that's it.
So if you're out there, you're watching us right now, you're wondering, oh, but I don't work in the government sector. The government, I only know of the government paying pensions. You are very, very wrong, because you remember Jamila stated that your employer could be the government, your employer could be a private parastatal.
Yeah.
You can be your employer.
Exactly.
If you're self-employed, like you do businesses, you can go to the Pencom office, talk to them. You see one of the RFAs, that is the marketers that you can talk to about, oh, I want this plan for pension, They give you the plans available, and then you choose whichever is suitable for you. You start, and at the end of the day, every month, a percentage, as agreed with the RFA, a percentage of what you earn from your business can be put in that account. So at the end of the day, you can say, I don't want to do this job anymore. It's time for me to rest. And then you have a fallback plan. Remember, all the years you've been working, a percentage goes into that pension account every month. So now you have enough to say, okay, I need to rest.
You can retire.
Yeah.
And I have to say that this is not it's not supposed to be optional, right? It's a mandatory plan. If you're a private employer, as long as you have above 3 employees in your enterprise, you ought to subscribe to
the pension plan
system. It's because it helps. Right, and I think we can now use this opportunity to talk about the benefits of this pension scheme. It helps a lot, really.
And then before we go into that, I want to say that many private organizations, they don't want to subscribe to that, because they'll be like, oh, I can't do that. You see somebody, you've been working in a private organization for like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, no pension plan, no nothing. The day you get laid off, that is the end. All. You just have to start from scratch, and that is not safe. Yeah, so I think we can go.
Yeah, and another reform that we saw over the years is that there's this where if you've been laid off from work, right, you can now apply for up to 25% of what you have contributed. From that your available balance in your retirement savings account, you can apply up to 25%. Okay, so I've been laid off from work, and I can use this to
get yourself together, get back on your feet
before you get another employment. So
I think that's really impressive. Very
that's
nice.
like very suitable for everyone, because anything can happen.
Yeah, in life they say never say never.
Exactly.
Something might come unexpectedly, and then maybe you get laid off from your job, no pension plan, no nothing. Now you're just there starting from scratch, and this can be avoided if you have a pension account, a pension plan.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're just going to be moving into the advantages of being pensionable, having a pension plan.
Yes, we've actually started talking about it. Having something to fall back to is very important. And then it helps you mentally. Like, there's this agitation when you're retiring, like, what am I going to do? Like, you're getting to basically maybe 35 years of service, or you're getting to the age of 60. There's this agitation. It could be this pressure,
because you don't have the energy to do what you used to do, and now you cannot go and start. Okay, I've retired, and now you should have some sort of level. Let me put it that way. There's some things that you should not be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then this gives you like stamina.
Exactly. There's this steady thing that's coming to your account every month, for a certain period of time, every month. So it's something.
Yeah, true.
It's something. It helps you put body and mind together, really.
Yeah. I think another benefit of being pensionable is healthcare, because imagine when you're old, different type of health issues start to spring up, and then when you don't even have money to take care of that, it's another problem on its own.
Exactly.
So you have a fallback plan. You have money somewhere that you can drop and say, okay, let me take care of myself. Let me sort myself. Let me just put myself together. Yeah.
Yeah, and it also helps the economy really, because these people, when this our precious senior citizens, right? They are not being a burden to the system. They have a way of, this money can help them to generate income and then probably invest something and then bring it back into the system.
I don't
Okay,
follow.
so the money, like the pension you receive,
They invest it into other businesses that
exactly,
generate profit.
do you understand? So
Okay.
in the long run, you're just, you know, helping improving the system.
Economy,
yeah, exactly.
So now the government has more money and you're not losing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to say that the senior citizens are very precious people, because most of them have contributed 35 years
Of their lives.
Yes, some persons unfortunately might not even live up to half that. For instance, if someone dies at 60, sadly, and you have, out of that 60 years, you have spent more than half working. You know, at the end of it, I think you should be able to have a good form of rest, you know, form of, you know, something like, you know what, I've contributed my quota, I've done my bit, now it's time for me to relax and be taken care of. I think we need to do more for our senior citizens. And it's sad when pensions are not paid as and when due. It's really sad. These people should not have to queue or go through stress or protest.
Might I add that I think I grew up around the barracks, so you know, now when you've served 35 years, you see like old soldiers coming around to queue, and it's just not, it's not a likable sight at all, because my school was in the barracks there. So when I go, I see old men using sticks, sleeping outside, no shelter. But I think it has improved, you know. That's the amazing thing about the Nigerian economy. They always try to make reforms, you know, improve.
You know, find
and I
ways
think they're
better
doing really well now.
I think I shared similar experience with you when I was in school, and then once it's end of the, before this whole digital payment platforms were available, right? So I get to bank end of the month to get my own bit.
Okay.
It's I don't like that part, because that's when pensioners to go to withdraw their pension, and then you see someone, they say like, sorry, madam, nothing, they never drop anything for you. Hi, you can just see how sad they'll be. They probably, you hear them complain like they've just probably spent their last couple to get to the bank, hoping
some
to
traveled all the way from several, you know, from states, coming to that particular place to make sure that it's done. Well,
no, it's
still not
really
nice.
sad. I always feel for them, and it's so sad, really. And I don't know, the reforms have helped.
Yeah, I think one of the reforms that have helped in this aspect is going digital.
Yes,
that
like
has really
PENCOM has really, most of the PFAs now have digitalized platforms, so you can track your pension, your RSA balance, and all of that activities. You know, it's a lot easier now.
Yeah, and even if you don't have an Android phone, you have your RFA's number, or he can always drop, he or she can always drop you a text message about the incoming, you know, the balance you have in your pension account. Or I can simply give you a call. Hello, Mr. So and so, your so amount have been dropped in your pension account, or so amount has not been dropped, you know, so that you can hold your employer responsible. That's another thing. Corruption in the body of this whole pension scheme. And you know, now the reforms of 2000, and the last reform that you were talking about, you said is a 10%, 8%. So the employer has to contribute 10%, mandatory, while the employee contributes 8%. So imagine a situation where I go to collect my pension, maybe at the end of the day, at the end of everything, or maybe I'm even laid off, you know, my pension still has to be there for me. And I go, and then the RFA is telling me that, okay, your employer has not been putting his 10% all along. That's cheating.
No, right now, with the reforms that we have, that's actually a punishable crime. It is a crime. Yes, it is a crime, and it's punishable.
Yeah, because why would somebody be working for you, giving you precious time, and then the little you can do, you decide to be a because that's the only word I can think of right now. Yeah, and that's not nice. That's not nice. So we're going to be talking about the malfunctions of the PENCOM, in as much as they've undergone several reforms. That's to even tell you that they know that it's not yet perfect, they're not yet there, but you know, they're working towards something sustainable, something seamless. So they've been certain malfunctions like delays in payment, you know, technical issues, maybe with the platform, you know, and just a lot of them.
Exactly. We've talked about how these retirees don't get their payment as and when due, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know where the miscommunication is coming from, or I think they need to put in better structures to ensure that I want a situation where this payments are not even delayed before they even
just
think
like
of
your salary.
You get before they even think of saying maybe pension will come today or tomorrow.
Let it be there.
These people have worked.
And I would like to add that I don't know of other organization, other federal parastatals, but I know for sure of the Nigerian army. I think they've really improved. They've really improved. Like, I think pensioners get their pensions first, even before serving officers.
That's
now.
Good.
That's really impressive.
That's good. That's a good one. It's quite impressive. So, and then transparency is also another thing that they need to work upon, right?
Yeah.
We need to know that, okay, if there's every members, if for instance the employer is not doing his
their
or her
quota,
please let them.
Should be brought to book.
I feel like there should even be stricter punishments for these people, because this is broad daylight robbery. This is different, if I have to say that. Seriously. So there should be like a stricter punishment for these people.
Yeah, we should. And I think another malfunction of the PENCOM itself is corruption,
mismanagement of funds, or just general misadministration of the system, really.
On the part of the pensioners, we have delays in payments. Like, I think you said that earlier, when you're supposed to pay. These people they have nothing to bring money to them anymore. They're not strong. They are all.
So it's time for them to be properly taken care of. I won't lie, I actually kind of admire the way citizens outside the country, abroad,
Have you been there?
No, I've seen videos.
I feel like we as a country,
we need to do better for our senior citizens. Do you know there are some persons I've heard complain of some persons that somehow their pension fund administrator he packed up.
Are you serious?
So, and that's all.
What happens to my money?
Your money is gone. But I think now there's like a pension protection fund. Okay. So this was put in place to protect, hopefully, such occurrences will stop. And we won't have, because I don't want to understand.
Just imagine somebody who that is their last hope. And then you pack up. What do you mean you pack up? And what happens to my money?
Most of them, that is their last hope. Except they have to rely on children. And what if their children is not working? Or what if what
if they don't even have children?
Exactly. So mostly this is their last hope. So there should be no excuse. Please, no PFA should pack up. Everybody should just do their bit and make sure that these people are well taken care of. Please.
Instead of packing up, they can, incorporate each other.
I think that we've seen a lot of PFAs merging now, and I think it's all for the better. Like, we need to come together to be stronger, to provide better service, quality service, and just ensure that what we're giving out is top notch.
So we're just going to be stating right now some of the solutions to these challenges encountered by pensioners and the PENCOM itself. So the first one is going to be enhancing customer service. Why would a PFA be talking to a pensioner anyhow? Shouting when you're actually there for them.
Exactly.
That's one of the things that pisses me off about bankers.
Exactly.
So why would an RFA be talking anyhow? You have to be patient with it. Most of these people are old people. You have to be patient to even make them feel like they are at home. Exactly. That will even relax them the more.
And then you see that all this thing is digitalized. You have a platform. Not all these people are tech
to them.
savvy. They're not. So they might not. I think the customer service needs to be a little bit more patient. And carry them along.
Some of them are not. They're not tech savvy, like you said, and they are not willing to. Don't push them. Just get their number. Tell them you're going to be dropping them emails or text messages, or even calling them. You can go as far as that. That is your job. There are other solutions like creating awareness for these pensioners, because some of them, like just what we stated earlier, some of them do not actually know. And then I feel like going out to private organizations and self-employed people, these RFAs, they need to do more in relating to them.
The PENCOM really needs to create like a workshop. And bring, let there be like a harmonization of public sectors, private sectors, informal sectors, everybody, and then tell them the importance of this thing,
especially
and how
the informal sector.
Really, yes. And then how are they to track their pension savings? How are, just like a workshop, maybe like a quarterly or something, or just find somewhere, and these people just
go to like rural environments where you can just pick
sure
up something,
everybody
talk to them,
up to date on what they need to do,
some of
or
them,
what they need to know.
They would actually like this idea, but they don't even have
and
the idea.
some
They
of
don't
them
know
are not even
about
aware of these reforms. People are
Yeah.
still, so like, maybe just keep everyone up to date or abreast with all the information that's necessary. And then basically, how does this concern us in Public Complaints Commission, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Like, you're wondering how this is. But I think I would say for a fact that resolving pension related cases is one of the core things we do here, because we've had so many. Just last week, I was opportune to sit in a case conference, and I listened to an employer that has not been paying
their quota.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
So this man was laid off. The complainant was laid off, and only for him to find out that his employer has not been paying or participating in the contributory scheme. So he has been paying his 8%, but the employer has not been paying his 10%. So that's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, we are immediately going to write to PENCOM and make sure that that employer is punished. Yes. So, like I was saying,
and I think that the punishment, the penalty, should be something really strong
to deter others. Yes, to deter others from following such whatever bad attitude. Really, seriously. And then I know how it's very easy for you to say, like, I've seen children of retirees follow their parents to complain, and and that can get agitative and stuff, and stuff like that. But instead of that, just come to Public Complaints Commission anywhere in Nigeria. Come to us, and then we're available to receive the complaints and then speak to the PFAs or PENCOM or whoever it is that you're having your pension issues with, and have it resolved.
Yeah, and then, like Jem has said, we're available in any of the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. So do not hesitate. Even if you cannot come physically to any of the offices, you can lodge a complaint online. We have a website, social media handles. That's where you can lodge your complaints, and an investigation officer would be immediately assigned to your case, and trust me, there would be a resolution, amicable resolution of that.
As quickly as possible, because that's the thing, we are very effective, so we see to it that your cases are resolved quickly and effectively.
So I hope that you've been able to learn one or two from today's episode, because for me it has been really educative, and I, for one, I learned. If you did not learn anything, I learned that the pension contributory scheme is a 10% from your employer, 10% of whatever you're being paid at the end of the day. Your employer contributed to your pension scheme, to your pension account, and then you contribute 8%. That makes it 18%. So imagine if you have 18% of your salary every month in an account, and maybe you're serving for 35 years, you'll be a big man at the end of the day. So let's make this work for ourselves.
Yes.
And then, if you have issues, come to us. Come to the Public Complaints Commission. Visit our website. It's www.pcc.gov.ng. It will be displayed on the screen. Thank you again for watching. This is Service Hour, and my name again is Mati Fati, and this is
Jem.
See you again next time. Bye.